Hello, citizens of YouTube land.
Hey,
It's your president and your VP, and we're back finally for the finale of
the month of Halloween horror.
This time, it is in fact
The Exorcist.
which premiered December 26th, 1973, and it was produced for a budget of $12 million, but it made $441 million worldwide.
I actually think that makes it the highest budgeted movie.
It was the highest grossing horror film of all time until it.
Actually, I think it still holds that record.
If you adjust for
Yeah.
inflation, it's probable, but that's it, guys. So it's directed by William Friedkin, and it stars Ellen Burstyn and Linda Blair and Max von Sydow as your main leads.
Oh, and you can't forget about Jason Miller in the lead role of Father Karras.
Right. So yeah, guys, let's get right on into this. The story takes place, it begins in northern Iraq, and they're on an archaeological dig. And they come across the statue of a demon. What that demon's name is, we'll find out as we talk.
Yeah.
So there's an accident, and the archaeological site has to be shut down. And then the story is segued over to Washington, D.C. And this is where we meet Chris McNeil, and she is on the set of an anti-war Vietnam film, and there's protest, and there's shouting, and you guys probably know, if you've seen Vietnam War films, you know how all those things goes.
Yeah, I could name a few, like Apocalypse Now, Full Metal Jacket. Anybody?
The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
Along with quite a bit of films, actually. There's so much that we can cover in the near future.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that may be a hint to a certain theme month.
She meets the director, Burke, and he's pretty important because she's walking home from the movie with Tubular Bells playing right here.
This one right here. We unfortunately can't. Can't show too much of it, otherwise we're going to get a copyright claim,
right?
Potentially a strike.
So with that, she heads home, and then we get to meet Reagan, and she's a nice little girl, 12 years old, perky, doesn't have a lot of friends though, very lonely, missing her father. That Chris and Reagan are having a conversation about this man that she may or may not see, and she tells her that she'll always love her daddy and this and that, and y'all kind of know.
Yeah, and she contacts this man through a Ouija board, and his name is Captain Howdy. Mm-hmm. Quick note, real quick. Little kids, if you're playing with a Ouija board and you come across an entity named Captain Howdy, it's unlikely that it's a demon and more like it's a pedophile.
Wow. I
just saying. I mean, no kid's gonna watch this review, Dad. I mean, it's The Exorcist.
But okay, all right. So you probably would want to stay away from people like that.
I don't know. It was worse. It was worse the last time I said it.
They're talking, and she has the Ouija board. And her mother flat out tells her, hey, it takes more than one person to play this. And she says, no, actually, I just play by myself all day. I just have a conversation with this imaginary, invisible person who, well, yeah. So she tells Captain Howdy, she says, Captain Howdy, do you think my mom's pretty? And moves around. And he goes, that's not nice, Captain Howdy. You shouldn't say that. And so, to speed things along, guys, because we can't talk about so much of what happens
So
here.
we can't really talk about a big majority of the film because like
We'd get in trouble.
yeah, we'd get in trouble by YouTube because of how much actually happens. These guys, they think that she has epilepsy at first.
I mean, she starts to
Like,
show signs of things that are amiss. And there's this scene with the Christmas party where she comes downstairs and she tells one of them that they're gonna die soon.
Mm-hmm.
And
You're gonna die up there.
they're gonna die up there in space, and then she pees on the floor.
Yeah.
Oh, and we can't forget
there's the infamous spider walk down the stairs. We can't talk about that a little bit, but but all these are signs, guys.
Which I will show the spider walk down the stairs right here.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, there is so much. The bed shaking, the violent convulsions, the lesions, the talking in the foreign languages. And they're slowly but surely starting to piece things together. Because,
and then,
guys, one quick note. When this movie came out, people were so unprepared for what they were going to see. Mm-hmm. We had heart attacks. We had miscarriages. We had people fainting. We had people vomiting. There was a purported curse on the film, and that only Reagan's room survived a fire.
Yeah, a freaking fire caught on set after a bird flew into one of the circuit boards, and then it burned the set to the ground except for Reagan's room.
The bird flew into the circuit breaker.
Yeah, no, that's apparently what happened, and the set literally burned to the ground. A few crew members died on set.
Yep.
And the only thing that was left standing was the Reagan's room.
And also,
which I want to share a story. I was telling my friend Theo about all this, about the set burning to the ground on The Exorcist, and how the only room that was still standing was Reagan's room. His response was priceless, guys. He was like, "Oh no, that's some creepy demon no crap there."
Right.
And he's a skeptic.
Also,
guys.
Linda Blair and Ellen Burstyn suffered lifelong chronic back injuries.
Oh yeah, like
as a result of this film.
There's a part in the film where Reagan's, doing something with a crucifix, fill in the blank there, and she smacks Ellen all the way across the room. She lands on her back, and you hear a scream of pain from her.
And it's genuine.
It's genuine because she actually hurt her back in that moment.
And William Friedkin, he went as realistic as possible, guys. I mean, it is so realistic, actually. It really is. Because here's another tidbit. He purposefully refrigerated her room to the point to where the breath that you see when people walk in, that's legit, because he had actually lowered the temperature of the room to below freezing.
Yep. Oh, and there's also the fact that he hired real medical doctors and real priests to be in the film.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he wanted the realism to be top notch. So anyways, all of this is happening. We have that big moment
and
where
Father Damien, has this crisis of faith because his mom has died and she had been a lifelong Christian. So if this could happen to her, how could God let that happen? Well, if God could let that happen, then what would be the point in his faith?
Oh, yeah.
These are things that the demon picks up on.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, there's something really cool is that Father Karras, he's having this dream about his mother, and there's a quick flash of the demon's face. And another instance when Reagan is in the hospital room.
There's certain subtleties.
It's really cool.
There's foreshadowing throughout, guys. So when you're watching the film, pay attention, because there's certain things in the background, and certainly, like he said, the demon faces that just brief. They're brief. You got to be paying attention for them.
It's like
there's the shot of the stairs, which we'll talk about, because as we said, it all boils down. They've decided medical treatment doesn't work. It's got to be an exorcism.
Especially after that moment.
Which is suggested, mind you, by the psychological doctors.
Yep. They're like, have you tried getting, do you believe in God? And she's like, no, I'm an atheist. And I haven't really taught Reagan about all that. They're like, I think you might want to get an exorcism.
As she flat out says, you're suggesting that I take my daughter to a witch doctor? And so, yeah, she meets with Father Karras, who does an examination. Only Reagan knew about his mom and knew about certain other aspects that she couldn't have possibly known.
Oh, yeah, and she speaks in multiple different languages. Like, she speaks in Greek, French, Latin, Italian, just a whole bunch of things. And then Father Karras even asks the name of the demon inside of her, and it's like, I'm the devil himself.
And he says, well, if you're the devil, why don't you just make the straps disappear? And he goes, the Reagan / Pazuzu, because by this point it is kind of known.
Which?
He goes, that would just be an absurd display of power.
That'd be too a vulgar amount of power.
Yeah.
So, by the way, I would like to mention, I don't think it's actually Pazuzu possessing Reagan until The Exorcist the Heretic, but I like to ignore that one because it's kind of the oddball of the group. Mm-hmm. Anyways, I don't like to think it was Pazuzu possessing Reagan. I think it was actually a demon pretending to be Pazuzu, because Pazuzu is actually a Babylonian, Assyrian
and
demon.
They also mention that the demons are liars and that they prey on the psychological aspects. So when it comes to situations like this, yes, I'm skeptical of it too, guys. While I do have religious beliefs, I'm skeptical of a lot of different things. I really am. But let's get into the rest of it, okay? So, and it all come down, and Father Karras, he gets Father Merrin. They go to do the exorcism. One problem: Merrin suffers a heart attack.
Oh yeah. And by the way, during this, you get a lot of the classic moments that the film's known for. You know, you get Reagan with the owl spin. Hey guys, editor Jason here real quick. Quick note, this didn't actually happen during the actual exorcism. This was my fault. I guess I had a little bit of the Mandela effect. I remember it being there when I first watched this movie, but I guess I was wrong. Maybe it could have been from Scary Movie 2, because I know it happens in Scary Movie 2.
Yeah. President also here, guys. And our mistake. Sorry.
You get the power of Christ compels you type of stuff.
You've got the records flying all over the room. The books are flying all over the room.
You have Reagan levitating. You have her reaching out to Pazuzu. You have her saying, the classic lines like, your mother sucks.
Yeah, we can't say that.
And HE double hockey sticks. You got...
It's everything, guys. So it all leads up to it. And Father Karras, he tries desperately. He's pounding on Father Merrin. He's trying to give him the CPR.
And then he realizes. And then he starts slapping the crap out of Reagan.
There's only one thing he can do.
He literally
slaps the crap out of her. He says, "Take me! Take me!" And then he goes, "Ah!"
And then he jumps out the
window. And then there's an additional 5 to 10 minutes after that. Which, okay, it ends kind of like this, guys. There's a point where Lieutenant William F.
Kinderman, which
William Friedkin, he was talking to Father Karras, and he asked him if he likes movies, and he tells him that he's got tickets to the best shows in town. And Father Karras asks who's playing it, and he tells him, "I've seen it." At the very end, there's a new priest, and the lieutenant asks him, "Hey, you want to go see a movie? I've got tickets to the best shows in town." Tells him who's in it. And the lieutenant tells him, and he tells him, I've seen it. And so that's kind of how it all ends, guys. Well, this is that might be new to you guys, some of you guys out there, because like we said, we watched the extended director's cut, which, by the way, go out definitely if you can find that. As always, The Exorcist is available on VHS, DVD, Laserdisc, Blu-ray, streaming services, all the usual suspects. It's
By the way,
available
if you do watch it on
anywhere.
DVD, I suggest you watch it on like a standard def DVD or TV, because then it's going to look all grainy and stuff on our.
My final rating. What can I say? Absolutely, definitely. 5 out of 5. What say you?
Also, I give it a 5 out of 5. This movie is just it's good.
From
what
the
else
score,
is there?
To the principal photography of the film, to the acting itself, everything combined just makes for one of the most surreal experiences you'll ever have. Fair warning though, be prepared. If you're going to watch it and you've never seen it before, prepare yourself. Just go into it knowing that The Exorcist is not for the faint of heart.
No.
And with that being said, as always, if you've seen The Exorcist and you believe that it is the worst supernatural film of all time, then clearly you have not seen its sequel, The Exorcist 2: The Heretic. So, guys, with that having been said, of course, most of you guys know that now the month of Halloween horror is finally over. We finally got it all done. We did what we said we were going to do. It just took a little bit longer. Sorry, guys.
Like I said, time caught up with us. Also, I got sick. I don't know if you know. I got sick with a head cold and strep throat. I'm good now. So, yeah.
And most of you guys will actually, we filmed this today, November 1st, but it's not going to come out until tomorrow, November 2nd. So, yeah, it's actually a couple of days past Halloween. But
same with the Omen review, in case if you don't know. I'm also working on something really cool and kind of funny for that one.
So, but yeah, stay tuned, guys, where the next ones will definitely be. And we're going to try to do this very, very soon. Get the first of it out, and that's the Last Man on Earth trilogy remakes. So, yeah, we got that, and then after that, it's Back to the Future, and then after that, it's the 12 Days of Christmas. Because, sorry guys, but we got to promote, try to drive it.
Yeah.
So with that,
also on the gaming channel, I'm going to be finishing the Quarry over the next couple of days. So,
and I'm gonna try to get back into the Ghostbusters, and also get start some more of the Red Dead Redemption that we were doing as well.
Yeah, and then I'm just gonna come out right now and say, you guys have probably already seen The Last of Us and how it ends, So I'm just gonna not do it. I'm not gonna finish it all the way to the end. You've already seen it. You already know. If you've not seen The Last of Us, you're living under a rock.
Let me just say this. He might pick that one back up later, guys, but we do have some other things that we'd like to show for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's not that we're going to completely abandon it, because I have not seen it, so I would like to know how the story plays out, and we will do that eventually. But he's right. We do have other things that we want to move on to. But with all that being said, of course, there's only one thing left to say, and that is
peace and love from Denny and Son. Bye.